For God's sake, don't talk to him before he had his dinner, because if his blood sugar is low, that's a chemical, he's going to snap your head off. When you have a subluxation, yes, you can get sick. It is so stupid to go to a chiropractor when you have a backache and ignore your lifeline the rest of the time. I even know people, maybe there's some in this room, who go to a chiropractor to get well and leave their own children home to get sick. Saying, well, the kids don't have a backache. Chiropractic is not for backaches. The only purpose of chiropractic is to find these vertebral subluxations whenever and wherever they exist in anybody, and to help the body to restore these channels to normal, to regain control over your chemistry. Because when your chemistry is back in control, you're better off than when the chemistry is not under control. That's the message of chiropractic. Chiropractic is not for sick people or people with backaches. Chiropractic's for everybody. And it's funny, I talk about this, and you're watching this, and you're saying, boy, I'm glad I don't have one of those subluxations. Yes, you do. And I'll prove it to you right now, if you haven't been going to the chiropractor regularly. Do you ever watch a 1-year-old learning to walk? Learning to stand, to walk, to run? Does the kid ever fall down? Like 30 times a day? Or 300 times a day? Forget the 1-year-old. Let's move up to a 2-year-old. Were you ever 2? Let's watch a day in the life of a 2-year-old. The 2-year-old gets up in the morning. First thing he does is fall out of bed. Whack. Subluxation. Now he gets back in and kicks his brother out. You got 2 of them subluxated. They come down to breakfast one step at a time on their rear end. Bump, bump, bump. You think that's good for the spine? Okay, the kid's not subluxated yet. Now let him go out and play. He rolls down the hill. He fights. He wrestles. He falls off his scooter, falls off his skates, falls off his skateboard, falls off his bicycle, falls off his tricycle, falls out of a tree. Just in case he's not subluxated, before he sits down to lunch, he dives into the sofa head first half a dozen times. See? This was you growing up. You grew up subluxated all of your life. But you didn't have a backache all of your life. You didn't have headaches. If a little girl aged 3 falls off her tricycle and gets a subluxation that damages the nerve supply to the ovaries, she's not going to get menstrual cramps at age 3 or at 13, maybe not at 23 or 33. But at a certain age, maybe she now comes down with breast cancer, because a known cause of breast cancer is an excess of that female hormone that's made in the ovaries. And it could have come from that fall. The fact is, anything you do to cause a subluxation sets your body chemistry out of balance, and it messes up your entire life. When you have a subluxation, yes, it will interfere with your health capacity, but it will also interfere with your work capacity, your concentration, your memory, your sense of humor, your digestion, your ability to earn a living, your sex life, your relationships with your kids, your friendships with other people. I had a person tell me the other day, she wasn't sure. She said, we've been under chiropractic care for a few months now, and I think something strange is happening. Is it possible that when you get adjusted, food tastes better? Of course, because the taste buds are controlled chemically. I was talking with a dentist who tells me that the chemical content of the saliva is what determines the rate of cavities. That's why they don't want you to eat sweets, because it makes the saliva acid. Well, supposing you have a subluxation that alters your chemistry and makes your saliva more acid, couldn't that give you more dental caries? Well, can you prove that? I don't need to prove it. You have to understand that there's nowhere on God's earth you can have a subluxation that doesn't mess up your life somehow. I don't have to know how. And if you come to me or any other chiropractor with a certain ache or a pain or disease and say, was it caused by subluxation? The only honest answer is, I have no idea. But whether that condition is caused by subluxation or not, you don't want to go through life with subluxation. And the point is, every child grows up with subluxations. It really bothers me to see people go to a chiropractor to get well and leave their kids home to get sick. You have to understand one major thing. Vertebral subluxation, this deadly killer, this destroyer of happiness, does not have symptoms. Sitting here right now, you don't know if you have a subluxation. I'm a chiropractor, and I've been one for a long time. I don't know if I have a subluxation. It doesn't hurt. So what I do is regularly, at least once a week, I go to my chiropractor and get my spine checked. See, the chiropractor is a trained expert in finding subluxation. I really get frustrated by patients who come in and they say, boy, I really need it today. What they're saying is, I hurt today, therefore I think I must need it. The other side of that is, if you don't hurt, maybe you don't need it. Hey, maybe you don't, but the only way to find out is to see an expert who will check your spine. I wish you had a big